Babachir Lawal endorses Datti, carpets PDP and APC. Babachir David Lawal, former Secretary of Government of the Federation, has urged Nigerians of all political persuasions to vote for Peter Obi and his vice presidential candidate Yusuf Datti Ahmed of the Labour Party for what he dubbed a breath of fresh air, describing the All Progressive Congress APC and the People Democratic Party PDP as opposite sides of the same coin. Oh boy. In a statement endorsing Datti made available to Daily Independent, the ex-SGF said the Datti ticket will foster unity, justice, equity, and harmonious coexistence of the country's diverse nationalities. Oh boy. Besides, he said it will permanently address the stringent cry of marginalization and speak to the genuine call for power to shift to the southeast in the coming dispensation. He also blasted the Muslim ticket of the APC, declaring that it was deliberately calculated to sow a seed of discord between the two faiths and empower the nebulous criminal groups that have taken hold of the northern part of the country. I'm sure that is referring to the Fulanis. Denying the report that he and his group have endorsed the candidate of the PDP, Babachir said the fake news couldn't have emanated from him, saying the PDP and APC are opposite sides of the same coin. He insisted that the emergence of Datti will give Nigerians some lease of life and halt the insidious circulation of the same old politicians every election cycle. The former SGF dismissed the APC candidate as a hegemonic leader who ensured that all South-West established the Ministry of Regional Integration, alleging that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu never believed in a united Nigeria. Similarly, Babachir Lawal pointed out that the APC, the choice of Kashim Shettima and the Muslim ticket of the APC was calculated to shame the Christian, knowing the antecedent of the former Borno state governor. The statement reads, all right, that is Babachir Lawal's statement. It reads as follows. As one of the foremost critics of APC's single-faith presidential ticket, and also in deference to those who have patiently waited for our guidance as to where to pitch our tent, after a painstaking review and analysis of the alternative presidential ticket, we now wish to recommend the Datti presidential ticket. Oh boy. We wish to briefly narrate a few reasons among many why we have endorsed this ticket and commend it to all Nigerians of good conscience who desire justice, equity, and harmonious coexistence of all Nigerians across tribes, religions, and geopolitical regions. Moreover, there is currently in circulation fake news that I have thrown in my towel with the PDP, noting nothing could be further from the truth. To me, the PDP and APC are different sides of the same coin. The APC, same faith, is a deliberate, well-calculated plan to sow seeds of religious and social discord among Nigerians. It is obvious that the Northerners, in particular, are the intended targets and victims of this satanic plan. It is an indisputable fact that the whole of northern Nigeria is currently mired in several intractable socio-economic problems due to the activities of several nebulous criminal groups. Agriculture, the mainstay of the northern economy, is all but abandoned because kidnappers and bandits have prevented people from venturing out of the safety of their homes. Interstate and intercity travel for either business or leisure have all but ceased, not only due to unmotorable roads, but more so for fear of kidnapping, armed robbery, and other forms of banditry. Our rural schools have all but closed for fear of kidnappers. Government-owned universities have closed thus depriving the children of the already impoverished northern masses access to affordable higher education. Thus, our out-of-school and idle children have become easy targets for recruitment by bandits and kidnappers. And there is no solution in sight. Oh boy. Then out of nowhere, this man, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a renowned Yoruba hegemonist, a man who championed the establishment of a Ministry of Regional Integration in each state government of the Southwest geopolitical region, which he bestrides as an emperor, and a man who was once quoted as saying, "I do not believe in one Nigeria." This day, the Sunday newspaper, April 13, 1997, page 9, comes up with a Muslim ticket, knowing fully well that religion is the underbelly of northern Nigeria. APC's same-faith ticket is a ploy to further sow discord among northerners using the most potent weapon of social discord, religion. As Karl Marx once said, religion is the opium of the people. Nigerians from all shades of society must see this Tinubu Kashim's same-faith ticket as a proposal from the pit of hell that can only be conjured by the most Machiavellian minds known to man, and therefore must be rejected wholesomely by all lovers of our country and its nascent democracy. On the other hand, Alhaji Kashim Shettima, Tinubu's vice presidential running mate, is a man who once said, "Restructuring my foot. Let's restructure our minds." For 8 years, he presided over Borno State at a time when Boko Haram was overrunning the state almost at will and restructuring the minds of its victims against Christianity and Western education. The kidnapped Chibok and Datti girls and many more are now slowly trickling out of captivity in the Boko Haram indoctrination camps, fully Islamized, and carrying children born into Islam in captivity. A true example of mind restructuring, if there ever was one. There is also this little matter of an allegation of a very close relationship or otherwise between the vice presidential candidate of APC and Boko Haram, and which Christians can forget one Kabiru Sokoto, the alleged Boko Haram kingpin, accused of complicity in the Christmas bombing of St. Teresa Catholic Church, Madala, that resulted in 44 deaths and 77 injured Christian worshippers. Or that the said Kabiru Sokoto was eventually arrested at his hiding place in the Borno State Government Lodge, Abuja. Are Christians not justified in being scared of a government run by this duo? Number 2, surely APC same-faith ticket is intended to shame Christians and bestow on them and their religion a second-class socio-political status in their own country. In particular, it is a validation of the discrimination and oppression being meted out on northern Nigerian Christians, where they are now denied employment, promotion, contracts, and admissions to read prestigious and marketable courses in government-owned schools simply on account of their religion. It is no wonder then that Alhaji Bola Tinubu thinks that the Bible is a book of jokes from which he can freely construct his jokes, like his poison, Holy Communion, and speaking in tongues jokes. So if he is man enough, I challenge him to ridicule the Holy Quran, even once, as he freely does the Holy Bible. This guy has no respect for Christians and Christianity at all. Number 3, this APC ticket goes against the grain of Nigerian politics, which in practice, if not in law, has always sought to achieve a religious balance in its politics and governance. It is worth noting that all the other 17 political parties fielding presidential candidates have gone the way of established conventions and practices by fielding different faith tickets. Truly, except for its incitement to social disharmony, There is no sense at all in APC same-faith ticket. Furthermore, in our quest for justice and equity in socio-political and religious space of the country, it is obvious that only the Datti ticket has the potential of speaking to the genuine clamor for power shift to the southeast and at the same time speak to the cry of marginalization by our people of the southeast. Obviously, a Christian-Muslim presidency like the Datti one will be most appropriate at this stage of our political journey, more so since we are now transiting from a Muslim-Christian presidency. It will also achieve the regional shift of the presidency from the current northwest-southwest to southeast-northwest presidency, as popularly being canvassed. This is justice, this is equity, this is political engineering at its best, and one that engineers peace and harmonious coexistence of the various socio-political and religious classes of our nation. Nigerians should also resist the temptation of being ruled by the same set of courtiers who are recycling themselves, their children, and their friends in a monarchical fashion, all right, in a monarchical fashion in and out of government to the exclusion of other segments of the society. This trend has resulted in these disastrous consequences in unsecured, divided, severely underdeveloped, and massively unemployed, with a widening gulf between the rich and the poor of society. A keen observer will not fail to notice that APC is a transmutation of Action Group UPN that is dominated by the children and grandchildren of those who once run and ruined the Action Group, while the PDP is a transmutation of NPC, NPN, similarly dominated by the children or grandchildren of the people who once run and ruined the NPC. A government of either APC or PDP will only be a recycling of the same class of people who have been running and ruining the country from independence to date. Is it any wonder that Nigeria has remained statistic? The Datti will give us a breath of fresh air and the greatest opportunity to redeem our country from the quagmire into which we have been plunged by a recurring group of self-centered reactionaries. There is also this palpable fear and anxiety over a possible transition of the current presidency from one full to another. Same tribe, same religion, same region, same courtiers. This has given rise to a heightened fear of possible perpetuation of a feud hegemony in the country. Besides, there is the perception by many Nigerians that the FOB are the main actors in the banditry and kidnappings currently ravaging the country. Therefore, there is a widespread perception that another FOB-led government will not have the inclination or political will to address the country's security challenges, seen as a majority of the perpetrators are his kindred. There is also the perception that appointments by the current government are driven more by ethnic and religious cronyism than by nationalistic considerations. This has given rise to a fear of a possible perpetuation of this trend by another FOB or Fulani-led government. Both APC and PDP present us with this horrible option. The Datti ticket possesses great potential to win us from these problems. Finally, as the political campaigns advance towards the election dates, the tendency to divide the country along regional, tribal, and religious affiliations is gradually beginning to manifest. We can see very clearly that the APC has woefully failed in its original plan to instigate a form of jihad, which it had sought through its same-faith ticket in order to capture the Muslim votes, and has now resorted to a tribal card. The battle cry is now, and it is our turn our turn tribal card in the southwest. All right. Yeah, this is kind of our turn tribal card in the southwest. The PDP, on the other hand, seeing new opportunities in APC's failed jihad strategy, is tending toward adapting both the religious and ethnic strategy of APC in the north. Nigerians must be awake to this very dangerous campaign trend, because any of the political parties that come into government by pandering the ethnic or religious sentiments may not be able to govern successfully and might further accentuate the social cleavages. Wow. Men of good conscience should therefore look to opportunities that unite rather than divide us. Only the Labour Party presents this opportunity. We therefore call on all patriots to labor for our country in this presidential election. Nigeria's future is at stake in this presidential election. Datti is the only way to go. All other ways lead to perdition. Hey, see, Babachir Lawal wrote this full page on behalf of Labour Party. And so the Babachir Lawal is officially supporting Labour Party. So somebody is writing here a few comments. Now somebody is being truthful and selfless, siding on the side of a new Nigeria that reasonable youths are clamoring for. God bless you, sir. Babachir Lawal is talking nonsense. No way for Datti Biafra agenda. Can you imagine? Another person is trying to counter it. Somebody says, wow, I hope this is not fake news. Great development. All right? Then some other person is saying, this selfish man, so because Tinubu did not pick him as running mate, he must be against Tinubu. Time will tell. Can you imagine? The comment is coming against him on that point. Time will tell what? No sympathy vote for your Tinubu anywhere. That is another counter comment. If Tinubu did not pick him, why didn't he pick another Christian? You see, that is another question for Tinubu. So if you don't pick Babachir Lawal, why not pick another Christian? Why Muslim ticket? So well said and articulated, Datti all the way. Yes, we move for unity, justice, and equity. And somebody is crowning up by saying, this is the truth. Nothing but the truth and the whole truth. All right? So Babachir Lawal has written a large piece in migrating his support to Datti and Labour Party, benching both PDP and APC, and has made that justification in this piece of writing. Thank you for listening, and I love this, and I want everybody to know that Babachir Lawal is now an obedient and is now behind Datti movement and Datti all the way. That is from Babachir Lawal. Thank you for listening, and let's have your comment below.